Okay, I just want you to pay attention. Again, the demon possessed, they follow literally as I lead, and that's literally the definition of stalking. So today we've got the sunrise appearing at 6:46 in the morning. So you're paying attention. Not only is this not the natural environment, but the entity, it's not possible to be consistent when you are not even the real thing. It's not even the real thing, and you're literally engaged in what is stalking. And so literally, by definition, if I move somewhere else, if I go somewhere else, the sunrise is going to happen wherever it is that I move. That's the stalking conduct by the demon possessed population. And also, as I discuss what the entity is engaging in, you have a sunrise that's occurring. This is supposed to be the evidence of the sunrise. You have the sunrise that's occurring much earlier than it ordinarily is into my apartment, absent any rising light source. Okay, it's not even risen yet. Okay, and you have the concentrated light. That's the direct evidence. This has nothing to do with the sunrise. You already know that. You're looking at engineered light on my ceiling. Okay, while the demon possessed use the communication device, use my cell phone, asking questions that they know the answer to. That's why they're going to federal prison. Where it is that they're engaging in criminal monitoring, facilitating the state's pattern of conduct is legally relevant as well. You do it inside of the private space. You're engaging in the sex offense in concert with the entity. You're also engaging in what is terrorism, that psychological torture type of conduct, asking questions that you know the answer to, while all of the evidence surrounding the targeted individual, causing them to question the reality of what it is that they're suspecting that they're subject to. All of that is going to be subject to what is a federal prosecution. And the people of the state and the state itself engaging in this criminal system, they're going to be subject to what are mental examinations systematically while they sit in federal prison. All right. It is currently, again, I want you to see the drastic increase in the concentrated light, absent any light source, and you've got a much earlier sunrise based on what it is that I say. I am the leader. Satan follows me, okay? And that's literally the pattern of conduct. The entity is stalking, all right? And you see that this has nothing to do with the natural environment, and I will upload a video to the Compare the P.O.C. folder where you will again witness what is a sunrise that has nothing to do with any hillside in Los Angeles. You also know that it's not a sunrise because you've seen the iterations of light that remains all around me, literally in the shade, absent any sort of superficial or external explanation related to the light source, such as on my ceiling in my bedroom. All right, which the entity is doing at the same time. Again, this is the literally revealing what are the demon possessed and revealing their demonic system. And the entity doesn't have any other way to do it. That's why it's still doing that which it knows is already exposed, but you prosecute for that. That's called impunity. And a federal court will recognize that impunity, the unlawful threat to the life of an American citizen, and very real people are going to serve consequences for that, and they're going to sit in federal prison for a very long time. It includes 59 units here filled with third parties, okay? This is terrorism, and I want you to see up close. This has the shadow of the palm trees outside, and the blinds are closed. Okay, this is exactly what you saw on my bedroom wall while UPS and the people of the state were monitoring, while you saw Marina Davila and a third party with a minor child. They want you to see that image. And let me be clear, there's nothing persuasive about that image. It's very sick and demented because they know about the demonic activity that they're engaged in that's being exposed. And so they put a child in your view. And let me be clear, that's actually not endearing. It's actually very scary and creepy because they're engaged in group stalking. They're in this engineered light. They're engaging in a sex offense in real time monitoring someone, and they're a psychopath threatening the target individual, keeping their back to them, and everything about what they're doing is within the P.O.C. on behalf of that obsessed demon-infected agency that is stalking day and night in helicopters. So when you see these children walking around, when you see them walking like you saw yesterday evening in the engineered light that was molesting my thighs underneath my bedroom window while I was looking at the light source, impossible light activity, and this is impossible light activity that's happening well before the scheduled sunrise because I'm telling you about the engineered light, so Satan follows with more engineered light, which is the P.O.C. The entity is engaging in what is creating for you a false narrative, and it's not even persuasive. When you see children, you should be literally creeped out because these children are engaging in a demonic targeting system with the people of the state. That's why CPS is taking them. They literally have them in the body of evidence. That's going to be the evidence to take that child from the possession of the people of the state. While they think that they can smile and hold their hand, nobody is convinced by that. This is demonic. This is psychological torture, and they're engaging in that while they're holding the hands of children, monitoring you, being a sex offender, monitoring you inside of the private space. A psychopath looking the opposite direction, hoping that somebody's just going to look at the fact that a child is there, an innocent child is there, and there's no way that the target individual is speaking the truth. This is the deluded mindset of the people of the state. While you're looking at light appearing on my ceiling, you're looking at videos of the demon-infected law enforcement agencies flying in circles over me for 47 minutes. And let me be clear, that's not the first time that a demon-infected law enforcement agency did that. Okay, the body of evidence shows the Ontario Police Department flying, literally psychopaths, demon-infected ones, flying in circles over me for an hour. Okay, I've documented that before. It's not new. What the LAPD, it is in conformity to the pattern of conduct. It directly informs you with regard to what is no exception. And the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, the Los Angeles Fire Department, no exception at all. All I did was give you a vivid example. This engineer light is what was surrounding me while the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department were sitting in a cafe. It's called criminal surveillance. It's called stalking in the path. It's all over the walls and the doors while they're opening their doors. That's not sunlight. Those are demons, and they're monitoring through that active light activity. While the entity provides what is an earlier sunrise today, because I'm speaking about it, that's what Satan does. I am the leader, and Satan follows me. Okay, that's not a compliment. I'm letting you know the reality of this, because this is entirely impossible. Impossible light activity. Not only based on the time, not only based on evidence, a body of evidence showing what is a sunrise in an entirely different region for a prolonged period of time. Now you have a grand departure from that, and now you have evidence of what's supposed to be a sunrise over a hillside in Los Angeles and a sunset through my bedroom window 12 hours from now. And that's called being surrounded with evidence. And every single last person, every company name, every group of the people of the state, like Alvarado Gardens, they're a group. They're all going to federal prison. Everybody that lives here. All right. But the people of the state, everyone is going to be prosecuted. Everyone by this very evidence, because this is the engineer light that surrounds everywhere. There's no warrant or probable cause or lawful basis for placing you under surveillance ever under any circumstances in the U.S. We're not in some third world country. The government can't just do whatever it wants to do contrary to what it's doing. Contrary to flying in circles in relevant position to me, when I'm documenting the significance of flying in a circle, it's not a coincidence that those demons then foolishly flew in a circle repeatedly for 47 minutes in alignment to my living room window. That evidence is going to come back and haunt them. Okay, it is currently 6:53 a.m. and this is the light source that's present. Engineer light dramatically increasing while the demons listen to me speak about the reality and the unavoidable, the inevitable consequences of the criminal system. This is directly incriminating the people of the state. And then the entity is in my bedroom aiming engineer light onto my ceiling while I'm indisposed, physically indisposed, while they're monitoring me while I'm taking a shower, monitoring me while my clothes are off, walking up, pacing all around, holding the hands of children. And those are demons that are focused on you, outwardly conducting themselves as though it's life as usual. That's the pattern of conduct by a demon-possessed population. Everything that you're doing is subject to what is surveillance. Okay? It is currently 6:56 a.m. and I'm glad that you saw that, because I want you to understand, everyone's going to understand by the time this evidence is that everybody at Alvarado Gardens, you can say it with me, they're all going to federal prison. They are all going to federal prison. All 59 units are filled with third parties who are going to federal prison, and the world is going to understand this level of intolerable cooperation and dedication to a government's system of surveillance in violation of your constitutional and human rights. Anybody else engaging in this, you should learn right now. Learn from these demons, because they're going to federal prison. All 59 units. All of them. All of the children that live here, they're going to be taken by CPS, Child Protective Services. The evidence of them engaging in the pattern of conduct, just like the people of the state showed you in the video, by the way, after 6 p.m. and engaging in what is light inside of my apartment as though that would be the sunrise when that was a sunset through my living room window after 6 p.m. yesterday. But that's exactly the foolishness, the foolery that the entity provides on an ongoing basis, and it's the very evidence that I'm going to present and the federal government shall recognize. These are additional grounds in understanding what's going on in this country, what's going on amongst a corrupt government, and the ways in which you're going to remove children from being placed in such harmful and damaging situation, contributing to their delinquency, training them up in ways in how to engage in psychologically torturing another person, relying again on that age of minority. They rely on that. That's the malicious and twisted mindset. Oh, have the child engage in pacing around, have the child's voice as the method of audible activity. Those are the things that are conjured up in hell. It is as twisted as an entity threatening you with the sound of helicopter everywhere that you're going. All right. But then you also have what is, again, just because you're entirely wicked and twisted and just because you have a lot of minions doesn't make you in any way superior or formidable or intelligent, because that same entity provides what it does not understand is a body of evidence against itself. OK, you're talking about what is a body of evidence which is serving to defeat you. It's going to be used in court. Your secret society is not a secret anymore, and it's clearly criminal, and it's demonic, and I'm going to use that against you in court as well. It is currently, let me be clear, that when you're seeing this sunrise at 6:56 a.m., you're going to pay attention to that vacillation in the light activity inside of my apartment, and none of it's the natural environment anyway. Pay attention to what Satan is doing. Wherever it is that I go, that's where Satan goes. What I speak on, Satan follows, okay? This is a demon-possessed entity. It's the same thing with the people of the state. They're stalking. All they're doing is stalking, and they are literally driving UPS vehicles, Amazon Prime vehicles, United States Postal Service vehicles, Ryder vehicles, and they're stalking. Entire companies are committed to this demonic agenda. Life is not about that which you think you've been told and conditioned to think that life is about. There's a whole other agenda, that which you are not physically aware of, okay? It's a spiritual matter, and they want you to remain ignorant and distracted. Okay, this is the reason why this is happening, because I'm not only prosecuting, I am trying to make sure you hear. Anybody that has an ear to ear, that's all I'm saying. Anybody who has eyes to see. Okay, because this is the reality. It's currently 6:57 a.m. This is documentation of what is directly incriminating the people of the state. This impossible light activity is inside of my apartment while I'm subject to 24-hour surveillance. This is a sex offense as I'm documenting it inside of my apartment. And it's also a molestation of my person, which is a sex offense while demons are in the path. That is, third parties are in the path and they live at this property. They also surround the property. So it's prosecution of all of them on the hillside. They're all covered in the evidence, but it is a terrorizing threat while the entity is engaging in what is even earlier in the morning by virtue of the fact that I'm documenting. Understand what that is. Okay, as you document the entity stalking a helicopter, as you document the entity acting via UPS will arrive and engage in more of that pattern of conduct. That's exactly what you saw yesterday. It's the P.O.C. It's currently 6:58 a.m. This is P.O.C.